practicing. I'm going to be emceeing the fisticuffs between the shiny pony and the senator soldier. Hey, folks, let me switch gears. For months, I've been warning about those foreign-funded NGOs attacking the Canadian oil sands, groups like the Rockefeller Brothers Fund in New York or San Francisco's Tides Foundation. Well, it was only a matter of time before they struck back at me. I'll show you how they did in a moment, but first let me give you a refresher course in one of the foreign groups called the Tides Foundation, based in California. The Tides Foundation has given millions of dollars to anti-oil sands lobby groups in Western Canada. Not just to lobby groups, but even to media organizations which pass themselves off as independent. For example, Tides gives thousands of dollars to a left-wing news website in British Columbia called the Tyee. As you can see by the Tides Foundation's filings with the IRS in the States, it's for a specific political purpose, to fight against the tar sands. So they wired 15 grand to the Tyee. You can see it right here. So it's not really a journalistic website, it's a lobbyist website in the payroll of foreign foundations. That $15,000 isn't a ton of money. I mean, Tides has spent millions of dollars attacking the oil sands, but $15,000 is enough to guarantee that when San Francisco calls, the webmaster of the Tyee jumps to attention. I mean, but if some San Francisco billionaires want to give money to a left-wing Canadian website to smear the oil sands, I mean, really, what do I care? I'm for free speech. It's not my money. The fact that the Tyee has to rely on foreign paymasters says a lot more about their true support levels in Canada and where the Tyee's own loyalties lie. But what if a Canadian charity did the same thing? Well, then it is my business. Because that's the thing about registered Canadian charities. They get special tax treatment by our Canadian government. When you're a Canadian charity, you get to issue Canadian charitable tax receipts, which allows your donors to avoid paying taxes on that money. So charity has to be charity, you know, helping the public good. It's the difference between buying yourself a dinner and buying dinner for a homeless person. Revenue Canada isn't going to subsidize your dinner, but they'll subsidize a soup kitchen. But they're strict. You're only allowed to call yourself a charity if you do really charitable work. Politics are severely restricted, and partisanship is outright forbidden. It makes sense. All those other activities are allowed in Canada, lobbying, politicking, propaganda, whatever. We just don't call them charity work. Which brings me back to the Tyee. They're partisan. They're political. They hate the oil sands, and they hate me. Their in-house anti-oil sands lobbyist, Andrew Nikiforuk, actually compared me to the Taliban once, which is pretty neat considering that I'm Jewish. Anyways, the Tyee's Taliban attack on me didn't work too well, made them look pretty stupid. So they hired a left-wing pundit named Kai Nagata to make a music video attacking me and the oil sands. A music video. Here's a 30-second clip of it.
They call me Easy E, cause you can hold my strings if you can pay my fee. I'm no slacker, I was selling ethical tobacco. I'd sell water to a well after lobbying to frack it. Capture regulators in my necktie and jacket. You see my mouth moving and I know you wanna smack it. Well, too bad, radicals, I'm practically diplomatical. Canada rips my words from Durban to the Vatican. E-Z-R-A, Ezra is my name, dog, you know how we play. L to the E to the V, A to the N to the T. Cutting down trees on live TV. Yo, let me break it down for all you hippies and freaks. Foreign funding for a year, I get paid in a week.
Hey, look, they've got some other personal insults in there that aren't political. I guess I'm lucky they haven't gone all WikiLeaks on me and brought my family into it. But hey, I've got a pretty thick skin, as you know from yesterday's show. So it's sort of funny that it's a puppet show attacking me, and yet they're the ones who are dancing to the tune of their foreign puppet masters. And it's pretty weird that they say I make more money in a week than what foreign-funded NGOs get in a year. Not really. I mean, foreign foundations like Tides and Rockefellers give tens of millions, about $300 million in the past decade. Here's just one foreign foundation, the Rockefellers, showing they alone spend $7 million a year in anti-oil sands lobbying. Sorry, no, I won't make that in a lifetime, let alone a week. Now, of course, I'm flattered by all this attention. It's sort of funny. I think it shows that I'm really getting into the mind of these foreign lobbyists. They're obsessed by me. They Google me nonstop. They've tried anger, but that looks bad. They're trying humor and music, but they're not really good at either one of those. I mean, if you're trying to make me look goofy, it's sort of tough to beat how goofy I make myself look. But whatever. It's clear that they see my reporting and the idea of ethical oil as a big problem for them, which it is. I mean, just the simple question I keep asking, why does the Tides Foundation and their lackeys at the Tyee only attack Canadian ethical oil, but never Saudi or Iranian or Sudanese conflict oil? I mean, why are they against tanker ships exporting Canadian oil, but they haven't said a word against tankers importing OPEC conflict oil to Canada? I probably would have shown you this video that they made no matter what, because it's sort of flattering and weird and a little bit toe-tappy. But there's actually another reason I'm showing it to you today, because you paid for it. Not just the bullies from San Francisco, but you did. Because the Tyee, that propaganda website from BC, the website that released this anti-Ezra, anti-oil video, it gets to issue charitable receipts. Seriously, the Canada Revenue Agency lets the Tyee issue tax receipts. Now, I know a little bit something about this. I used to be the publisher of a conservative magazine myself. It was called the Western Standard. It's tough making a go of it in the magazine business. I actually contacted the government to inquire whether it was possible to tune our business into a charity, and we were told no. A magazine is not a charity. Maybe some scholarly journal might be, but certainly not a news magazine with lots of opinions in it. That's called a business. It's a different thing. You can't pretend a business is a charity, let alone a political campaign, a partisan attack that's specifically banned under our tax laws. So how does the Tyee, a little anti-oil sands, anti-conservative website in BC, get to issue charitable tax receipts? But my old magazine, the Western Standard, was told no. Well, it's easy. The Tides Foundation does it for them. The San Francisco-based Tides Foundation has a Canadian affiliate called Tides Canada, and they launder the money for the Tyee. Look at this. Here's the online form. Tides Canada has a charitable number with Revenue Canada, and they let you give them the money. They give you a Tides charitable receipt, and then they'll just pass that money right on to the Tyee, to their attack journalism. They're not hiding it. They're boasting about it on the website. Now, the Tyee couldn't get a charitable number. We couldn't. The Western Standard, no problem. The Canadian branch plant of those San Francisco lobbyists will create a tax loophole for them so that wealthy left-wingers from Canada or abroad can give money, get a Canadian charitable tax credit, and have it go to attack the oil sands and to attack me now. And look a little further down on that same page, if you can show it again, you can even ask for your donation to be 100% anonymous. Sorry, folks, that's called money laundering. It's scrubbing the identity of a donor, giving him a charitable tax receipt, and then passing the money on to a non-charity, a political magazine. Like I say, they're not secret about it. I mean, here's a page from the Tyee's website now. They're boasting about how they're gaming the system. Let me quote from their page. They're paying for reporters, for expenses, for distributing their propaganda, and to, quote, mobilize citizens to take action. Hey, that sounds great. Sounds like what we tried to do at the Western Standard, maybe even what I'm trying to do here at the Sun. But I'm not a charity, folks. I believe deeply in this show and my message, but it is not the equivalent of feeding hungry people or healing the sick. Sorry, it's not. Now, I don't have a beef with some loser lefties making a puppet show out of me. I'm flattered. I don't have a beef with them attacking ethical oil. I love the fact that they're finally talking about my idea. I don't have a beef with big money going to these lobbyists. I'm for free speech, even for rich people in San Francisco. But I do have a beef with the government of Canada allowing a San Francisco-based bully to set up a Canadian branch plant and play Revenue Canada for a bunch of fools. I do have a beef with you and I being forced to subsidize this anti-oil sands crap through our taxes in the name of charity. And it's especially infuriating given that the conservative government itself has recently condemned foreign billionaires meddling in our democracy and attacking our oil sands. Really? Really? Well, as long as this conservative government gives Canadian charitable status to anti-oil sands groups like these puppet movie makers, I think it's safe to say that Stephen Harper is not really serious about cleaning up this problem at all.